I'm really pleased that Haim Bresheeth, Professor Haim Bresheeth, has been able to come on to the Zoom to talk to me. I was away last week and I couldn't believe the story that I was reading about him being arrested outside the picket of the Israeli ambassador's residence in Swiss Cottage. The footage has been shown on YouTube of what happened. And how are you doing, Haim?
I'm fine, thanks.
Um, so I've just got this quote. It's a pull quote that was put in a publication. I'll just show. This is what apparently you were arrested for. It says, "What has it achieved? Murder, mayhem, genocide, racism, destruction. This is what they're good at, but they cannot fight the resistance. They have lost every single time. They cannot win against Hamas. They cannot win against Hezbollah. They cannot win against the Houthis. They cannot win against the united resistance to the genocide they have started." Am, am I mean, I can't see any endorsement for anyone there. It's just statements of fact about these groups. They cannot seem to defeat them. Is that the statement that they are pulling you? They pulled you for arrest for?
Yes, it is. Basically, you can't see it because it isn't there. You can't see what isn't there. The law requires that they will tell me why they arrested me, but they only said they arrested me under the Terrorism Act 2000, section 12. Well, it's all Greek to me. So I said to them, "What, you arresting me for terrorism? Oh, we'll tell you in the station." Yeah. The condition of the arrest were quite special as well. But basically, when we were at the station, many hours later, because I waited in a car park with two police guarding me so that I won't flee um, for hours. I don't remember how many hours, maybe two, something like that. And they wouldn't let me into the station because in the station they were all discussing what to do with me. And the wording was, "This is an instruction from on high." But when they read me at long last the statement, I said so, and they said, "Well, this is we suspect that this is an incitement to support these organizations." Which is a joke because I'm a historian and I'm actually telling people at Swiss Cottage what they can read in the papers. Israel is not making any headway either in Gaza, in Lebanon, or against the Houthis. They kill a lot of people. They're really good at, and this is what I said. They're good at killing people. They're good at killing babies. They're good at destroying, but they're not very good at fighting.
Mm.
And I said also, this is an army that won many wars against very well advanced and um, very well equipped state armies, but it is unable to fight against small organizations with very light weapons. So they don't like that. But I don't think that they stopped me because I said that. I think they stopped me because I'm on a list, as Tony Greenstein, as Asa Winstanley is, as Sarah Wilkinson is, and Craig himself, who left Britain because of this. So there is a list of people who are known, who have a voice, who are supporting Palestine, who are against the genocide, and who are saying it without worrying about what will happen. And anyone like us is actually educating others to do the same. So we become targets. I think that's the big secret of my arrest, of Tony's arrest, of Asa's arrest, etc. And the fact that the use of the Terror Act has become, something so normalized today that you can, throw it at a cat and a dog. Yeah. So basically, what the rule of the prime minister, who was once not so long ago the head of CPS, is a rule of the lack of legalities. Yeah, the total intimidation of people, silencing, harassing of people by the use of the law illegally. That's what they're doing. They're using the law illegally. This is not what the law was supposed to do. It was supposed to stop terrorism. Now, I'm not a terrorist. I'm just doing what you're doing and what we all are doing. I'm sharing my knowledge and understanding of facts with people that listen.
You speak so well about the situation, but uh, you're not well yourself physically, are you? I mean, how did you respond when you were taken in? How long were you in the cell, and what happened there? I mean, physically, was it really hard on you?
It was, you see, I am not as well as I might look. So basically, I have atrial fibrillation, which is a very difficult cardiac condition. I had an operation in 2020 and it failed. So it came back with a vengeance. Um, that is exasperating enough. But what I have also is very advanced and aggressive cancer. So I'm being radiated. For example, I had to delay the meeting today because the radiation was in the evening. You only know the day before what time, because it's a very complex process. You spend there at least between 3 and 4 hours. To travel there is an hour, to travel back is an hour. So, it's 5 or 6 hours. That really takes everything out of me every day. Two policemen from the back uh, got me, and not very violently, I have to say. They just grabbed my arms and said, "Come with us." And I look back and I see them, and what is this? Where are you taking me? I'm not going anywhere. And they say, "You have to come with us. We arrest you under the Terrorism Act 2000, Section 12. I said, "What are you talking about? Terrorism? Who is the terrorist? What are you talking about?" And then they just refused to tell me what I said that was terrorism, and said to me, "Everything will be explained in the station." I said, "No, I don't want to go to the station. Explain it to me here." They refused to do so. And by that time, there were about 10 people from Aijan standing up, and one of them, a doctor, Jonathan, said to them, "This man I know very well, and he has atrial fibrillation, and he's a cancer patient, and he's being treated for cancer, and he's 79. You can't take him." And yeah, okay. Of course, they took me. And the people filmed the whole thing. Now, basically, it took about 3 hours to get to the station. And in the van, and I didn't tell that before, but I'm telling you because it's very important, I think. The sergeant of this van, um, I know his name, but I probably won't mention it, said to them before we went into the van to handcuff me. I said to the policeman before, "You don't need to handcuff me. I cannot run, and I don't intend to. I haven't done nothing, and I'm not running away from you. So don't please add, this, you know, this is offensive enough." And so he is a young guy, said, "Okay." as long as you behave yourself, I won't handcuff you. The sergeant came and said, okay. It's kind of like shows the hand, yeah. So the guy took him aside and told him, I don't know what he told him, but I can work it out and you can work it out. So he wasn't happy, but he said, okay, into the van. And they sat kind of like buffeting me from both sides. And when we start in the van, I realized that I haven't got my medications and I need to take them at between 8 and 9 o'clock. So I said to them, do you realize I haven't got my medications? I must take them. And the guy who arrested me says, where do you live? So I said, Crouch End. He said, okay, we'll go there. And the sergeant said, no, won't go there. We are going to the station. So they start an argument. And I said to him, I must take the medication. And before we went into the van, I was told that you will go and collect them. So he said, don't worry about it. I'll deal with it later on. I said, I want you to allow me to phone my wife. I have a right for one call and tell her that I'm arrested and that people will come to collect my medication. He said, no, he didn't allow me that. So I said, okay, you don't allow me to phone. Allow the policewoman sitting here to use my phone or to use hers and phone my wife. There's no regulation against that. And tell her, because if she opens the door and sees two policemen, she'll probably collapse and have a heart attack. She hasn't done anything wrong. Why wouldn't you allow it? He said, it's your choice. You decided to be here. I thought, well, am I hearing right? It was your decision, he says, with venom. I said, my decision to be in this van? Are you mad? I didn't decide to be in this van. You decided. He said, it's your decision. I said, when did I tell you that I decided that? He said, when you do something, you pay for it. So I said, I can see that there's no need for a trial because you already done the investigation and you found the guilt and you are now judging me, yeah? He said, no, I'm not judging you, but if you do something, you pay for it. Well, I thought, okay, I'm not going to take this any further at the moment because in a minute they'll start hitting me or something. And when we got to the station, I wasn't allowed in. As I told you, I was in a car park and so on. And it took about 3 hours from the time that I was nabbed until they allowed me to see the inside of the station. Great experience. And then I said, I'm to the sergeant at the desk, will I be allowed to find out what I'm held for? And so he says to the arresting officer, officer, can you describe the crime? So he takes a piece of paper about this big from another, from the woman policewoman, and he starts trying to read what's on the paper. It's quite clear that he hasn't written it and she hasn't written it. Okay, they read the words between them, Hamas, Hezbollah, and it's not the way they actually said it, but Hezbollah and Houthis, as they said, Houthis. And I said, yeah, I did say those words. And they didn't, of course, know what else I said. Because this piece of paper was probably given to them by a Zionist activist, which we discovered later on. There is footage of. So he said it to them, but he obviously explained to them what was wrong about it, but they didn't get it. So I said, okay, I said those words. There is no law that is against saying those words. I was actually saying them in a context. So he said to me, you are suspected of supporting these organizations. And that's a very serious charge. Said, I never supported any organization of violence. I'm a peace activist. I'm calling for a ceasefire, and this is a trumped up charge. It won't stand anywhere. He said to me, it's not for you to tell me that. So started the whole procedure, you know, the very lengthy procedure of being arrested. And of course, they took everything, including my phone. They wanted details of my medical condition. So I gave them the right to go in. And they could see that I'm treated for cancer on a daily basis and so on. It didn't change the way they treated me, I have to say. And then I said, I need to talk to my wife. And I had to negotiate for 45 minutes before they allowed me to talk to my wife. But speak in English, they said to me, only in English. So I did that. I phoned my wife from their phone. You know, there were so many arrestees there. I couldn't hear my words, let alone my wife, yeah? I told her I'm in Holborn Station. They arrested me. I don't know what for, and they will come and collect the medications. And they went to collect the medications. The medications were in the station by 8 o'clock. I wasn't given them until 1 o'clock in the morning, when I really roused a bit of a stir. But in the meantime, they chucked me into a cell. I don't know if you had the honor of that type of treatment, but those cells are horrible. There is you know, a toilet, not a toilet, but a seat, but there's no tap, no water. The bed is about this high from, you know, it's, you know, 4 or 5 inches above the floor on a concrete, you know, and there is a red plastic thing that they call the mattress, but it's not a mattress. It's like wood. The whole place was filthy. And I pointed out that my right is to be in a clean cell. And they said, yes, it is your right, and walked out, you know, left me to it. My condition is also such that it's very difficult for me to bend down or get up from the floor. So, you know, I had to sit down. And at the beginning, there was no light in the cell. And I said, I can't go in there. It's totally dark. And he said to me, be aware, I switch the light on, it stays on. There's no switch inside. What could I do? So I thought, okay, I'll be here all night. I can't sleep anyway. I can't lie down on this. I'll just sit. You know, I asked for some water. It took, you know, a long time to get it. Food, forget it. I said, I don't want to eat, but I want my medications. And they said, don't worry. And of course, when they close the door, you can't do anything. It's a metal door. You can't see outside. You can't talk to them outside. It's very, very thick. And every hour or two, they open the little metal window and say, just checking, immediately locking it again, so you wouldn't be able to talk to them. And somehow I waited by the door, and when one of them did that, I put my hand so they couldn't close it and said, I need my medications now. It's 4 hours after the time I needed to take them. And that's the only way I got the medications. I still had to wait after that. So, you know, that's the niceties of being an arrestee. You start the punishment before the judgment, you are not a person. Of course, they took my phone. They insisted on having my number, which I gave them. You are not a person. I had some little booklet and not booklet, and a notebook and a pen. I said, do you mind if I take them? No, you can't have them. Obviously, terrorists are very dangerous. God knows what they can do with a notebook and a pen. And so it goes. Yeah. So in the morning, just before sunset, they started interrogating me, two people from the terror squad. I think it's called SO15. And they were very respectful. They didn't treat me badly in any way. That is not part of the job. I mean, the job is really intellectual torture, but in no other way did they mistreat me. They even
How do you mean intellectual torture? They just kept asking you the same questions, or was it just
exactly,
repetitive?
yeah.
And
They give you about 5 minutes to write your statement with your solicitor. My solicitor was there. He told me later that it took him 3 hours to get through because they wouldn't lift the telephone, which is kind of like, par for the course. And having written the statement of, a page and a bit, and my statement is very clear. I read it out to them, and they said, "Thank you very much. That's very detailed and very, very useful. And but we have some questions." And then they ask about everything that you've written, like, "I'm a peace activist. So, what is a peace activist?" Fuck you. you know, a peace activist is something that acts against war and genocide. Can you be more specific? And so on. So we took, I don't know, an hour and a half. And then I said, listen, guys, this is nonsense. It was a man and a woman. This is nonsense. I've already told you all that I know. I refuse to, from now on, you're just going to get no comment. And they said, I'm sorry. You can do what you like, but we have to ask you all the questions so that we give you a chance, the best chance to protect yourself. I said, I do need a chance to protect myself, yes, but not that chance, because you're just asking the same questions again and again and again. For example, they asked me, I used the words arc of resistance. And they said, what do you mean by arc of resistance? I said, arc and resistance are very simple words in English, and we combine them. And this is a term that I haven't invented. This is a term that is used by everyone in the media. The arc of resistance includes the different organizations, and they are organizations of resistance of Israel, and they're resisting the genocide. And of course, if you say resistance, you're actually supporting them, they told me. I said, no, I'm actually describing them. Actually, the word Hamas is an acronym of a resistance organization, So in Arabic, yeah. So it was like this. I thought this will never end. And I said, let's put an end to this, because you're not going to get me to say something I don't believe in. And in the end, they realized that there is nothing they can charge me with. And they agreed to let me go just a short time before sun up. And surprise, surprise, they said, we're not going to charge you. We're going to send it to the CPS and let them decide. But you'll have to leave your phone. And I thought, oh God, my phone is the only way the hospital tells me what time my appointment for radiotherapy is every day. For example, today was in 10:30 at 10:30 in the morning, and then I was told in the morning on the day that it's at 6 o'clock. That's why I couldn't do the interview with you before. So without the phone, I might as well commit suicide because I can't get the treatment. So I explained this to them. To their credit, they went to talk to, I don't know who, God, and came back and said, okay, you can have your phone. And let me go. Actually, towards the end, the woman became very friendly with both me and the solicitor and asked us all kind of questions about Israel. He's also Jewish. What is Ashkenazim? What is Mizrahim? And it became a seminar, and it was very friendly. But of course, it's not friendly, and it's not a seminar. It's, I'm an RST. I have a criminal record now, which I never had in my life, until such time as they will deign to tell me what is the next stage. And when the desk sergeant spoke to me, he said, of course, we may call you for further investigations at any point in time, and we'll normally do it by letter. So don't worry, people will not come to arrest you again at home, but we will tell you when we need you, where we need you, and so on. So it was all kind of like the best of friends terms. And that's the story, yeah. But when the guy said to me, the sergeant said to me in the car, pointing at me like that with his finger, it was your decision to be here. Everyone became very quiet in the van because they realized he's done something totally out of line. He couldn't do that. He couldn't start judging me in the bloody van, but that's what he was doing. And I think they spoke to him and said to him, you went too far. So in the car park, he came all of a sudden and sent the two officers away and said to me, as if just by chance he remembered something, I hope you didn't take it personally in the van because, I'm not judge and jury. It's so transparent, that he wanted to kind of make it fine and okay with me. And he said, I didn't mean anything personal by that. I just meant, if you commit a crime, then you have to pay for it. So I said, have I committed a crime? I have not even been arrested officially yet. You already know that I committed a crime, and you already decided that I'll have to pay for it, including not giving me the right to phone my wife.
What time did you leave the station then?
About 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 in the morning. God. Now, how did you feel physically then? Totally
I
drained.
was wiped out.
Did
You
you
know,
did you have to sleep
I'm
all
very
day?
tired now, but imagine after all that, I was, really finished. The solicitor is an amazing, really beautiful person. He drove me home. He said, I can't leave you here to find a cab and all that. He drove me home. And in the car, we discovered that we know each other from years ago. Um, so there were good things about it, like, the solicitor and the talk with the woman officer. It was very friendly in the end. And she understood. I told her that my academic work is on two subjects, on anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, and that's what I publish about. And she was Muslim, I think. So that really meant something to her. So, there were, moments that were positive, but I was really wiped out. And I said to the solicitor at the beginning, um, I can't really face a million questions because I'm so tired. And he said to me, don't say that. If they know that you're very tired, they'll hold us for days on end. Now, you know that normally habeas corpus means 24 hours. Yeah, they can hold you for 24 hours before they charge you. But if you are a terrorist, if you come in under the terror legislation, they can hold you any number of days. Yeah. Mm. So he said to me, don't do that. Let's just try and get through it so you leave as soon as possible. Because if they actually see on you that you're tired, they will continue until they wipe you out.
Right, we're here at the picket outside the Israeli ambassador's residence. It's really busy. Look how many people are here. Big crowd, lot of noise. And look who's here. Haim Bresheeth is here. Having been arrested last week, he's here, he's back.
I thought after what happened last week that I shall try a new experiment. I will read you very briefly from Zionist papers what Zionist people write about what is happening. I don't agree with any of them, but interestingly, they support my arguments. The first one is called, "It is not Hamas that is collapsing, but Israel." And I can't read the whole paper, but I'll just read you two small parts. The war's goal, bringing Hamas to collapse and freeing all hostages by military pressure, have not been achieved. If we continue fighting in Gaza by raiding and re-raiding the same targets, not only won't we bring Hamas to collapse, but we will collapse ourselves. Better then to be smart and take the medicine before we are sick. We must now agree to a deal to release the hostages. This may be the only way to bring them home. We must stop the war in Gaza, which may very well also bring about a cessation of fighting with Hezbollah, as well as reducing the chances for a multinational regional war for which we are entirely unprepared. This was written by Major General Itzhak Brick, one of the most important officers of the IDA. He's retired. So as you see, I don't actually agree with all he says, but he seems to agree with what I said last week. So maybe he should be arrested or proscribed. I want to tell you just one thing. Yesterday evening, I was told by my solicitor that the police has decided to take no further action. I just want to remind you, it's not about us. It's not about me. It's not about Tony. It's not about Asa. It's not about Sarah Wilkinson and the many people that are suffering from the Met. No, it's about the people of Gaza. And that is what we will continue to do, to speak about the people of Gaza. Thank you very much.
Oh, look, here he is, Haim Bresheeth. He's back again. They couldn't stop him. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, what they did last week was... I wouldn't have been able to face what he did, but look, how are you doing? How are you feeling today, Haim?
I'm feeling very, very well to be here today at the picket, a bigger picket than last week. And I could tell the people that cared about me that there is no further action. That was a really good thing to do today. I knew it for a day, but I kept it because I wanted to tell people here at the picket.
And the intimidation from last week hasn't stopped you at all. I mean, you might have been thinking, oh, we might do this again.
Look, it's not very nice to be arrested. They don't treat you like a human being. They treat you like a terrorist. They give you basically a criminal record before they do anything else. They infect your telephone. They now have all my contacts. It's a terrible thing for anyone. But they can't actually, with those crude measures, silence us. They can intimidate us. They can do illegal thing with the law, but they can't stop us. We will not stop until the genocide stops and until the Palestinians have the same right that all of us have. So they can try to Tony, to me, to Asa, to Sarah, to so many people, and the number is growing. None of us has stopped talking about this crime of genocide. We will not stop. And the people will not stop coming here. We will come here and many other places and on the demos, the national demos and the local demos, until Britain stops supporting the genocide.
Amazing. Thank you so much for talking to us. I hope you have a good weekend. Thank you.